All right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you got a chance to have your lunch before joining us. If not, then you have lunch to look forward to after this is done. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today's Drive Leader training for the 2022 Family Giving Tree Back to School Drive Program. My name is Evelyn Huynh. I do community outreach and membership at Family Giving Tree. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I would love to know who's out there in the audience right now. So if you wouldn't mind taking a moment to hop over into your chat window and letting me know who you are, introduce yourself. If you're open to it, share your pronouns and what group you're with. I would love to know who's out in the audience today, and would love for you all to say hello to each other. And just so you know, we will be using the chat a lot today, so get comfortable with it. Feel free to use the reactions. Feel free to throw in questions. We will be taking questions at the end. Hello, hello. Look at all of you. I'm so excited. Oh, I love it. Some returning folks, some new folks that we haven't worked with yet this year. I'm so excited to meet you all. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in because we do have a lot to cover today. Thank you again for joining. What I would like to do today is to give you an overview of Family Giving Tree, of the Back to School program, and then we'll dive into some specifics as far as running a physical drive, running a virtual drive. We'll cover the timeline across everything and share some general best practices, and then answer any questions that you might have at the end. So if you don't mind hanging on to your questions as I go through everything, just in case it gets answered, and then throw it all in the end, because I am going to be manning the chat on my own, or I'll be staffing this chat on my own. So please have patience with me as I run through this today, okay? So let's start off with the overview of Family Giving Tree. We are a local nonprofit organization that has been around for 32 years. Hard to believe, 32 seems like such a long time. This organization started out actually giving holiday gifts during the holiday season, and then over the past 26 years, we've been doing the Back to School drive. So this is our 26th Back to School drive. So just so you know, to give you a couple more numbers out there, we have to date distributed a total of 2,019,033 backpacks and holiday gifts in the 32 years that we have been around. So we celebrated our 2 millionth in December. Had a great time with that, with some really great volunteers who came to our warehouse, and it was good times. Yeah, we're really, really happy with that. And you know what makes it even all the more cool is we're a staff of 19 people, 14 of whom are actually full-time and the rest are part-time. And then a fun fact, this is actually the largest staff that we've had to date, 19 people. So if you think about the 2 million that had come in through the doors and before December, that was with less than 19. So certainly we couldn't have done it all ourselves. We have annually, pre-pandemic, about 8,000 volunteers that come walking through our doors. During the pandemic, it's been closer to about 2,000 volunteers. Most of it started off with us kind of controlling, how many people were allowed to come to the warehouse. And then we expanded it a little bit more last year once more people were able to go out and get vaccinated and we felt a little safer. So we're hoping to get those numbers back up, but certainly couldn't do it without those volunteers who come into the warehouse. And then also our drive leaders, which is, this audience here, you all. If you don't consider yourselves volunteers, I don't know why you should. You put in a lot of time and effort in doing this job, and we want to make sure you are recognized for that as well. Another fun fact about us, we work out of one office. It is our main Milpitas office in the Sobrato Center for Nonprofits. So for those of you who are familiar with our organization and has, maybe been to one of our remote locations to drop off because you're not in the South Bay, or you've been to our warehouse, those are all donated locations or borrowed locations. We do not have control over them. The one place that we call home base is actually our tiny little Milpitas office. So if you're ever wondering, oh, I want to be able to drop in and do this, that, and the other, that's pretty much the location we will send you to if we're not working in the warehouse. So speaking of, we do operate out of a South Bay warehouse every back to school and holiday season. So we try to keep it in the South Bay so that it's close enough to our office, and it is more of a centralized location for us and the agencies that we work with as well. So we, around this time, are generally in the process of finalizing those details. So right now we don't have a finalized South Bay warehouse yet, but it will most likely be one in Sunnyvale, just so you all have that heads up. That's what's to come. Family Giving Tree, we are really, really proud of the work that we have put into updating our mission, our vision, and our values. So Family Giving Tree's mission is to connect those who can give to those in need with educational support, gifts, and volunteerism. And our mission is that, or our vision is that we envision a world where giving brings joy, offers hope, and creates learning possibilities. I hope that resonates with some of you all out there. It certainly does with me. And I'm very, very proud to represent an organization that has these, that we all hold dear to our hearts. Our theme for the 2022 Back to School Drive is Empower, Uplift, Unite, empowering students to write their own story. So some of you who worked with us during the holiday drive, this messaging may sound familiar. We do really, really like the idea of Empower, Uplift, Unite, and we will probably be using this to thread through our campaigns in the coming years. So each one of those words has a very, very significant meaning and impact in the work that we do and the people that we do it for. So we want to be able to dive in and explore those, at a deeper level. So let's talk about back to school work and what we actually do. So we essentially, as Family Giving Tree, we address educational inequity in the Bay Area by providing supply-filled backpacks and school supplies to students. So for this year, we are targeting to provide 26,000 supply-filled backpacks to kindergarten through 12th grade students from under-resourced areas of the community. And we'll work with an upwards of 200 to 300 schools across 11 Bay Area counties this season in order to make that happen. So to give you a quick overview for those who are less familiar with how the Back to School Drive works. So essentially, we work with drive leaders to go out and get backpacks. All of those donated backpacks are then received by us. They're checked at the warehouse to ensure all of the supplies are included and all of the items that should not be in the backpacks are removed. And then we gather all the requested backpacks for each school and then we coordinate them for the schools to pick up in August. And then they distribute those backpacks to the students and their families once the school season starts or the school year starts in August and beyond. So something that we are really, really proud of that we try to keep up to date with is that we provide grade level appropriate supplies. So this year we are breaking out the different grade levels in kindergarten through second grade, third through fifth grade, and sixth through 12th grade. We actually created names for them, which I'll go over in a little bit, but just to give you a preview, K through 2 is going to be the acorn, 3 to 5 is the sapling, and then 6 to 12 is the oak leaf, just to kind of keep with the fun Family Giving Tree theme. So we want to make it memorable for people, and we've come up with some really great things. So in addition to, providing these school supplies in the backpacks, we are also providing toothbrushes to every student. Oral hygiene is something that often gets overlooked, especially when you are kind of just scraping to try and to afford the basics. It is not one of those things that is top of mind to remember to take care of your teeth. So toothbrushes are just like one little extra item that we provide to give that little bit of extra help. I don't know about you, I'm really, really bad about changing out my toothbrush every 3 months. Do you know, every 3 months, that's how often you're supposed to switch out your brushes? Who does that? Who does that? If you do that, put it in the chat. I want to know. would be completely inspired by you, but I have a hard time remembering that. So anyway, so we do try to give out these toothbrushes during the back to school season, during the holiday season. And again, for back to school this year, we will be collecting those toothbrushes and handing them out. In addition to the toothbrushes, we will also be providing additional resources. Somebody says only when their toothbrush battery dies. That's like next level. I don't even have a battery in my toothbrush. Anyway, so we will be providing an additional resource, which is something new this year. We are going to be putting together a one-sheeter that is going to be in English and Spanish, and it will include a list of available resources for our students and their parents. So things like tutoring resources that are available in the Bay Area. So right now we're currently sourcing that information, and we'll pull it all together and get it printed and inserted into every backpack. So students who need that extra helping hand, who want to utilize free and available resources throughout the Bay Area, will have access to that information. So looking forward to having that as a new addition. Let's talk about why we do what we do. I've just gone over what we do, but why do we actually do it? So by providing backpacks filled with school supplies, including supplies that aid in STEAM learning to students from families that are facing financial hardships, we are equipping students to write their own stories. What this means is they have the opportunity to have their own voices heard and represented by giving them the tools that they need and the platform they need in order to do that. Some facts to know about what the situation has been like for people throughout the past couple of years, especially with this pandemic. We know how it's affected us. But how aware are you about how it has affected the rest of the community that you may not be talking to every single day, right? So in 2021, 58% of households with the lowest incomes experienced some form of negative employment shift. So whether it be that they were laid off, they were furloughed, they were forced to quit, something changed in their job in a negative way. So 58%. And that number is compared to 21% of the highest income households. So the inequity in experiences between the lowest and the highest income households is largely rooted in one thing. Can I get some guesses in the chat on what that one thing that makes such a huge gap in that difference is? Anyone? Any guesses? I'm going to throw it out there for you. Systemic limitations for attaining educational equity. You can't get that same opportunity for education. Education is referred to as, quote unquote, the great equalizer. So what that means is that it pretty much opens up opportunities for access to jobs, skills, resources in order to thrive. So barriers to entering the STEAM workforce are statistically much higher for students who are Black, Hispanic, or female. So these are the communities which are typically referred to as the marginalized communities, right? So providing educational resources that support STEAM education helps bring greater gender and race equity to our communities. So I think this speaks to the little social justice fighters in all of us, right? There's a lot of work to be done in this area, and this is Family Giving Tree's focus with the Back to School Drive is bringing that educational equity closer in the right direction. Okay, now we've talked about why we do what we do. Let's talk about how you're going to be able to do what you do. We are going to start off with going through how to run a physical drive. So for those of you who signed up to run a physical drive, that means that at the end of the drive, you will be bringing physical donations to us, whether it be at one of our remote drop-offs or at our South Bay warehouse. So this section will be for you. First things first, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a hot second so I can show you what the tags look like. Let's do that here. Okay. So we just received our tags this week. Cutting it close. But these are the new tags that we have. So these are the 3 different grade levels. Hopefully you all can see that. Okay, so we'll start off with our blue tag, which is the kindergarten through 2nd grade tag, which is the Acorn How adorable is that little acorn? You know you're excited for it. Let me know if you're excited for it. So as you can see, all of these tags are going to look very similar. There's a shopping list with all of the items that have to go into the backpack. And then something new for this year is this little bar right here with this little silver sticker. This is an RFID sticker. And so what this RFID sticker is for us, when these tags come back to us with backpacks, we will have our RFID readers in our warehouse that will be able to automatically scan for the information about these tags. And so if this is appended to a backpack, we're going to know that a K-2 backpack came back to us in the warehouse. So we've invested in technology to help make ourselves a little bit more efficient, and we're hoping this really pays off. So, so this is one way we're kind of changing that for this year. This is the saplings. This is 3rd through 5th grade. Of course, very similar. Look at this little dude. So cute. I love it. I cannot wait for you all to see this in more detail in person because they're pretty adorable. We brought in a new person onto our marketing team, and she designed these, and she did a phenomenal job. So kudos to Bree. Everybody say thank you to Bree for her hard work. This is the oak leaf. This is our 6th through 12th graders. We kind of had them, we had to make the oak leaf look a little cooler and less cute, but I still think it's pretty cute. I don't know about you, but I do. But same deal, RFID sticker right there. All of these tags also have on the back side instructions for what to do. So there are some specific guidances back here. For example, no blue or red backpacks, making sure you understand how this gets affixed to the backpack. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these tags, and you'll see that there's actually a little sticky on this side. It's a piece of adhesive that's covered. And what you'll do is you'll loop this around the handle, the strap of the backpack. You'll take that little sticky off, and then you'll hear it right here where it says peel and stick adhesive here. So you'll do one of those things. And so then this sits onto the strap. And so when it comes back to the warehouse, we can see exactly right away that this is a 6 through 12 oak leaf backpack, and we can sort it immediately. So help us help you. These are the tags. And if you have requested tags to be sent or that you will be picking up, you will get them in a pack that looks similar to this. So this is what we call a perfect pack. And what a perfect pack is all the 3 different grade levels. We have 7 acorns, 10 saplings, and 8 oak leaves. And so it's a default pack of 25. If you requested for more, you'll have more. If you requested for less, you'll have less. Like, it'll be proportionally less. So so just a heads up, that's what that is. And then for those of you who are wondering what this is sitting around back here, these are monetary donation envelopes. So for people who maybe are not keen on going out and going shopping, they don't have to. They can just cut a check. It is quick and easy. It is an envelope that is self-addressed. They have to stick a stamp on it. And then they put their check in here. One thing to note, if they are making donations using these monetary envelopes, is there's a line here for organization name. In order for your group to get credit for that, make sure they're writing your organization name on here. And if you're with a group that maybe has multiple locations, make sure you tell them exactly the exact name of the group you signed up as. So for example, if you're with Kaiser, because we love Kaiser and Kaiser works with us every year, we have about 6, 8, 10 different Kaisers that work with us. So I need to know, which Kaiser are you? Are you Kaiser Mountain View? Are you Kaiser Oakland? If you just write Kaiser, we're not going to know. So it'll be hard to attribute that donation. So make sure you pay attention to that. You can either have the donors mail this back in the mail to us, or you can collect this at the end. And you will be receiving, I'll go through this in a hot second, but you'll receive an envelope where you can put all of that stuff into. Okay, I'm gonna go back to share my screen. Let's do this here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Someone give me a yes so I can move on. Just want to make sure. Yes, thank you. Okay, so running a physical drive, I just went over all of the tags. You will also, if you opted to receive printed materials, you will get a drive leader packet, which is this thing here. And this pretty much will cover a lot of what we're going to go through today, but then plus more, because we only have an hour today. There's a lot of little tips. There's an entire FAQ section. You will also be receiving a backpack guideline doc that will be inside, and that is here. And that essentially tells you for each different grade level, what is the appropriate type of backpack to get. And so for folks who maybe don't have school age children or haven't had school age children and are not really sure what the cool thing is to do, you can refer to this. This is also important information in regards to the right size backpacks to get for each grade level, because we have received some backpacks that are just like too small. They're adorable. They're really, really cute and I want them, but they don't fit normal school supplies. So unfortunately, we can't give those out to the students and we have to swap them for appropriately sized backpacks. So something to think about, definitely read through it. If you are getting a copy of that, you know, share, post it wherever it is you're posting your tags. It is going to also be available for download on our resources page. If you are requesting for posters, this is a preview of what the poster will look like. It'll be similar to this. It's not the final design quite yet. But this will be large size poster. So you'll be able to put it on your doors, on your walls, and there are specific slots on the poster where you can write in when people should be returning their backpacks to you. So what date, where they should be doing it, and if they had questions, who they could contact. So ideally that would be you putting your information there for them in case they had questions. There's also going to be a slot for people to put in the address for their virtual giving tree. So if you also are running a virtual giving tree, or if you're only running a virtual giving tree, you can also get posters as well, but you can write in the actual address so people can navigate to it here from your poster. You also will have a handy dandy drop-off form. This is my favorite thing because we need as many opportunities to track the donations that you all bring in as possible. And so we do ask you to complete a drop-off form when you are ready to drop off your donations in the warehouse. And then finally, the thing that I mentioned earlier is the monetary donation envelope. So it's these large manila envelopes that will have a sticker on it. And then there will be a slot for you to write your organization name on it. And it's very, very important that if you will be using this to drop off any monetary donations from your group, that you write your organization name on it so we know exactly where it's coming from. And you'll be able to seal and secure it on top, and we'll have a separate drop-off slot for you when you come to drop off your stuff to then securely drop off your monetary donation as well. I mentioned this really briefly, the resources page, but this is going to be hopefully the place that you go to a lot for all of the things that you need for your drive. We've worked really, really hard to make sure everything is updated there and ready for you. So on the address is right here on the bottom left. You also can navigate to it from your registration confirmation email that you received after you registered. If you didn't get that, let me know and I can recreate and send that to you. But the resources page is cited several times on there. So you'll be able to just kind of click and navigate to it. But we have things like printable, downloadable backpack tags. If you didn't order the ones that I just showed you, you can download and print your own. You can send them to other people. We have the supply list available. If you don't want to use the tags at all, you just want to go shopping off of the supply list, that is also a possibility. We have graphics and images that you can use to share on your social page, just share out via email. We also have videos that we've created. Again, Bree put together wonderful videos for us for you to be able to share out with your group. And then yeah, just loads and loads of things. I have email templates up there for you. Also a sheet of helpful tips because you need more tips. You could always use extra tips, right? So if you haven't already checked out the resources page, please do. We have it all updated now. We've been working for the past few weeks to make sure all of the resources got refreshed, and we are at a good point right now for you to go and get everything you need there. So let's talk about if you are going to be getting physical items from us. So if you are going to get those tags, if you do plan to get boxes, so if you signed up for collection boxes, we're going to get things out in the mail starting June 6th, that week of June 6th. And we'll also be hosting a few days of pickups from our Milpitas office. So from your registration confirmation email, you can go click and sign up for a slot to come and pick up your materials. If you ordered a box, we can't send that to you, so you have to come pick it up. So make sure you connect with us or sign up for a slot in order to do that. For anything that is getting mailed out, I jumped ahead. Sorry. For anything that is getting mailed out, we will be utilizing USPS priority mail. So if for whatever reason you feel like I just want to come pick it up, it's faster, it's easier, no problem with that. Please feel free. I just have to know you're coming to do it. Otherwise, we start mailing that stuff out. If you provided us a FedEx number, account number to use when you registered, we will use that and send your materials out via FedEx. And thank you in advance if you did, to help us save on some of those shipping costs. If you didn't and you have a FedEx account number available that you would be open to sharing with us to be able to save on that shipping cost, that would be fantastic. It's not required, but if you have it, that would be wonderful. And you can email me and let me know whenever, up to the point when we start mailing, because once we mailed it, it doesn't matter, right? We will also be hosting another pickup day in the peninsula. So for those of you who are in the Palo Alto area, we will be doing a 1-2 hour pickup day on June 16th at Stanford Research Park. We're still solidifying the location where we will be doing that. It might be at the new community hub that they have open, which sounds really exciting. I haven't seen it yet, but looking forward to it. And that will be from 12 to 2, and that is also an appointment slot. So please do make sure you set an appointment to do that. And again, in order to sign up for an appointment, the link is in your registration email. So please go ahead and look for that. It is through Sign Up Genius. If you have any questions or anything, or you have any issues, or you want to send me your FedEx number, you can email me. If you need something like more tags, you received your tags and you feel like, oh, I went through that really quickly and I really need more, just email me. So you can find me on the other end of driveleaders@fgt.org. Okay, let's dive into some quick best practices for running a physical drive. So if you're not going to be posting your actual physical tags out anywhere, make sure you're sharing the tag image links or the supply list with your group. So if the way that you're going to be running this drive is you're just going to encourage people to go out and do the thing and then just drop it off at one place at one time, totally fine. But feel free to copy those links from our resources page and send those right out to people so they can have access to it. If you are receiving physical tags from us, our recommendation is to place those tags in your lobby, or wherever it is that most people will end up trafficking to get in and out of your offices or your main areas of operation. Also, if you are going to be using collection boxes, we do recommend that you put the collection boxes out in those areas as well. These are really, really bright branded collection boxes, so they will draw attention and kind of serve as a really, really good marketing tool and reminder for people that you are running a drive with Family Giving Tree and you are collecting the backpacks. So so you definitely want to put it in a place where people can see it. And if you're out shopping or you're rummaging through ads and you see any deals for school supplies, share them. Share those quick tips about, Staples having a sale on pencils or whatnot, or Target, having a really great sale weekend on glue or erasers or whatever. Email those things out to people. One of our drive leaders who's actually here in the training today, Ms. Winnie, thank you for joining us. She actually emailed a quick tip about being able to purchase a lot of the supplies from Dollar Tree. So you can actually go to a Dollar Tree to buy them up, or you could buy from their website as well. So something to think about. Dollar Tree is good for some items and not for others. You do want to kind of check the quality of stuff, because we do want to give decent quality items for our students and not stuff that's going to just die out or break really easily. So just something to keep in mind. But it is a great place to go shopping. And it's kind of fun to just kind of go to town and know that you only had to spend $1 or $1.25. I think they increased their prices, but yeah, so anytime you come across any ads or any deals, like email those out to people. It's a great source, a great excuse to serve a reminder out to folks as well. If you are going to be collecting, I know $1.25 store, it's sad, right? If you are going to be collecting donations in a lobby or a place that is visible from the street or public view, I highly recommend securely storing those donations at the end of the day. So I wouldn't leave the collection boxes just out in full front view, because I don't want you to risk having a break-in and having people think that there's something valuable to be stolen there. And so definitely, if you have a storage closet, or even if you are able to place it behind a desk at the end of the night, I highly recommend doing that. If you're not going to be collecting in a lobby, let's say you're not going back to the office or meeting up with your group in person yet, but you still want to collect physical donations, you can schedule a meetup. So pick a day to go and meet up in a parking lot somewhere, or if you're comfortable, you can tell people to drop stuff off on your porch. It's kind of up to you how comfortable you are with all of this, but we've definitely had some groups who have scheduled time to meet up in Starbucks parking lots to transfer donations from car to car, and it's quick, easy, painless. It doesn't take too long, and it works. That's a really great way to still get those physical donations in. So definitely consider that as something to do. And then finally on this list is recruit help. So, this can be a lot of work depending on how much you want to put forth in your drive. And sometimes just having an extra set of hands or an extra body can really, really help. So consider bringing someone on board. If you didn't, when you signed up and registered to lead your drive and you didn't put a secondary contact in, but you feel like, well, maybe I do want to loop somebody else in, just email me and let me know, and I can add them to the record. But this also helps me if for whatever reason you're not available and I need to reach out to you for something, that I have a backup plan that I can reach out to someone else and they can help in your absence if needed. Or if, let's say one day you decide it's time to move on from my company, we at least have a backup plan to be able to keep our efforts within your organization moving forward. So don't be shy about asking for help. Okay, let's talk about dropping off. So I already touched a little bit on dropping off, but let's really dive in here. This is going to sound really familiar. Recruit help. You don't have to do this by yourself. Don't feel like you have to be a one-person army to bring all of the donations in, especially if you're bringing in 150, 200 donations or whatnot, and you drive a little coupe. That's not going to fit in your car. So if you have friends, if you have coworkers that have SUVs or trucks, and you want to get the job done faster, bring them along. If for whatever reason you're not available to drop off on drop-off day, that's okay. We don't mind if you send a colleague along or send a friend along in your stead, as long as they have all the information and everything they need. You should be good. So don't do it alone, or do it alone if you feel like the Hulk. That's totally fine. I don't judge either way, but I would recruit help. Also, remember, you will need to sign up for an appointment to do drop-offs. This has really helped us be more efficient in our operations, so we are keeping the appointment process. If you do need to drop off multiple times because you do have to make multiple trips, not a big deal. Just make sure you make that main drop-off appointment with us, and then we can get you in after, not a problem. One thing we will be asking you to do is to make sure you count your donations. So we want to know how many supply-filled backpacks you will be bringing in. And then in addition to that, if you happen to have extra backpacks, so you bring in empty backpacks, we'll also want to count of that as well. So I will send out reminders to ask you to provide that to me prior to your drop-off, but I'm just putting it out here now, just so I can say that I did say this. And then also, so count all your stuff, and then you will be sending totals to me, but I'll be asking for that, so you'll get prompted. Make sure you actually show up for your appointment. So if you schedule your appointment and for whatever reason you can't make it, you can reschedule it on Sign Up Genius, or you can reach out to me and I can help reschedule it for you. You know, if you're running late, that's not a big deal. That's fine. If you want to give us a call, feel free. You're welcome to just give us that heads up. If you can't make it at all and have to reschedule, but you can't do it till later, totally fine. It's just helpful for us to know when you're going to come and not come. Not coming is also a big deal for us, because then at least we can make sure we get you on the calendar for a time when you can. One thing for this year that we are updating is we had to order additional boxes, and the new boxes that we've ordered, we still have some old boxes which we'll distribute, but we will be distributing new boxes, but they are a lighter weight. We weren't able to get the same weight boxes that we have gotten in the past. So make sure you're using your box for collection only. So don't haul a box full of backpacks and supplies just on its own, especially the new boxes, because I haven't tested it because we haven't gotten them in yet, but I don't want you to risk having the bottom fall out of these boxes. So it's a great resource to use as a collection piece. And then if you want to drop it onto a dolly and haul it over to your car on a dolly and then transport the backpacks over from the box to your back seat or whatnot, that's totally fine. But I don't recommend you just kind of hauling those boxes everywhere. They are a little bit more, a little bit less sturdy. So just, you know, take them out and then fold them up. And if you want to return the boxes to us at the end of the drive, that's great. If you want to keep them for next year, that's fantastic. It's up to you. But do make sure that you're not expecting those to be able to carry the whole load of all the backpacks that you get. Let's talk about the virtual Giving Tree now. So if you are going to be running a virtual Giving Tree drive with us, that means that at the time you registered for the question about, do you want a VGT, you said yes. So if you did that within 1 to 2 business days, starting this week, you should have received a setup email, and it should look something like this, where you've got the logo and you've got the URL and you've got all of the information you need to figure out how to go and set it up, as well as the link to the tutorial video and how to access reporting. So if you didn't receive it in your inbox, check promotions, check spam. Sometimes our emails do go to your spam, unfortunately. So unspam that thing so you can get started. If it's not there, you can email myself or my colleague Amelia. I will put her email up in a little bit, and we can get that information resent to you. So things to know about your updated virtual Giving Tree. First of all, here's a preview of that front page. This is what it looks like. So the usual things that we've had over the past year, at least, has been the area where you can customize and add your own logo, do a little write-up. We have a little slideshow on the right side that kind of takes you through a couple of photos from last year's drive, as well as some quotes from some students and teachers and parents. There is a tile on the right side with the green money icon. This is an opportunity for anyone who is just not feeling the shopping experience and doesn't want to bother shopping for backpacks online to just give a straight cash or direct monetary donation. And they can do that by adding this to their cart and just popping in how much they want to donate. So that'll make it easy for them. So another new thing on this page that you'll see is this little slim green bar right above the shopping area, and that is for recent donors. So we did get a request from, we got several requests from past drive leaders who really wanted to be able to see people who had donated to their drive show up on their page for everybody to see. And so this is now an opportunity to do that. So donors will have an opportunity to either stay anonymous, in which case their donation will show up as private, or it'll show up with their first name and last initial and when they donated. It won't say how much they donated, it'll just say when. So fun little new feature. Okay, so Sally has not received the email with the link to the page. Okay, I will do my best to remember, but if you wouldn't mind emailing me and letting me know, I will make sure to get that out to you. And then I did have somebody raise a hand, so feel free to ask your question in the chat if you have that. It is driveleaders@fgt.org, and I will have it for you in a hot minute here. Okay, so let me go through this really quickly and then I'll get you to that page. One other thing that we also added this year was double the donation. So double the donation is ideal for the corporations who offer donation matching as part of your philanthropy program or your giving program. And so after a donor has checked out, you'll get the opportunity to actually search for your company name here to see about getting the donation matched. So we've made it that much easier for you all to be able to do that within the virtual giving tree experience. So yay, another improvement. So let's see here. Let's get to customizing your VGT. So one recommendation that I have for you is to update it with your own logo. By default, it will have our Family Giving Tree logo on it. And if you really want to connect it a little bit more personally, you can throw your own logo on there. If you're not part of a corporation, you don't have a logo, you're part of a friends group instead, put a picture of your friends up there, put a picture of your dog up there, whatever it is that means the most to you in the whole wide world, throw it up there, just make it personal. You'll also have an opportunity to customize the message on the page. There will be a default message there. But if you want to go in a little bit about why it is that you're taking part in the back to school drive, or what your goal is, that's an opportunity to be able to do that in the customizable message. Setting goals. We do have sections where you are able to set a monetary goal or a backpack goal or both. So I do highly recommend that you do that. This year, you also have the opportunity to get email notifications every time somebody donates. We did have some requests for that from past drive leaders to actually get notified when they did get donations. Now, if you're going to be running a virtual giving tree that's going to be accessed by lots and lots of people, and you expect, thousands of donations coming in, maybe don't do that, because then you'll flood your inbox. But you do have the option to opt in or not, and you can do it at any time. But that is an option for you that is available, just FYI. Okay, this is the part you've been waiting for, Sally, the email. If you need help with anything, if you're missing your setup email, you can email Amelia@fgt.org to get that information, or you can email me at driveleaders@fgt.org. I have a question from Teresa. Is there a way to see what our facility did last year to help with setting our goal? Yes. So if you send me a follow-up email with your group name from last year, and I can look up that information for you and follow up with you. Yes. You won't be able to see last year's goal on this year's virtual giving tree, but I will be able to send that information to you. And you can put that in your customized message if you want. If you want to say, like, last year we did 100 backpacks, this year we want to do 150, please go ahead and do that. I think that's a perfect opportunity and a perfect way to use that customized message. You're very welcome. Okay, moving on. Hopefully you all got that email. Okay. Watch the virtual giving tree tutorial video. That is going to give you so much more information about how to set things up. In the video, I give you a tour of the VGT and all of the different areas, and you will get very specific instructions on how to do things like upload the logo, how to customize the message, how to access and read reporting, because you will have access to reporting, which you should look at and use. So this is, again, also available as a link in your VGT setup email. So watch the video. If it helped you, give it a like. It's also broken out into chapters. So if you only need certain parts, or you need to revisit something you forgot, you can go into the specific chapter just to watch about how to pull reporting or whatnot. So fun fact, quick tip. Okay, let's talk about some best practices for running a virtual drive. So if you're running a virtual only drive, people are only going to know that you're running it if you are reaching out to them and letting them know. So connect often. There's no lobby they're walking into to get a reminder necessarily. So you have to find a way to connect with them. So send emails. If you have a Slack channel at your office, use your Slack channel to say, hey, we're running a drive. Here's the link. Hey, we are 50% to goal. Here's the link to get us over, whatever it is, just make sure you are connecting often so they remember that this is an initiative that you are prioritizing for the summer. Set goals. You have the opportunity to set backpack and monetary goals. They are optional, but I highly recommend it because it is a very good motivator for people to be able to see that you actually have an endpoint that you want to hit, and to see how far or how close you are to that endpoint. If you were maybe not ambitious enough and you hit your goal within the first day, or maybe a little too ambitious and you're really, really far away from your goal, update your goals. There's nothing wrong with updating your goals. Be realistic with yourself. You want to be a little bit ambitious, but not so much that people are just like, we're never going to hit that, right? Although, if somebody wants to set $1 million goal and wants to prove me wrong, I'm not going to stop you. So go for it. And then another thing that would be really, really helpful to motivate folks is also to share stories and images. So we do provide you, again, with images, graphics, videos on our resources page that you can download and use. We have logos. If you wanted to customize anything for yourself, you wanted to use the Family Giving Tree logo, do it, go to town. We put it up there for you so you can use however you need to. If you have people who are going out and doing things on their own, ask them to take pictures and share it so you can share your own stories, right? So let's say, for an example, you've got like the finance team that's going to go to Target on Friday to do a group shopping event, to go and pick up backpacks and supplies for 10 tags or something. Ask them to take some photos, and then when they come back, post those pictures and say, hey, finance did it, you can too. So it's a really, really good way to kind of share the good that's going on within your group, and to help kind of encourage and motivate everybody to really take part, and to show how rewarding and fun it actually is to be a part of this movement. Yeah, so let's go over some general best practices. So this is kind of across everything. In case I haven't brought it up enough, use the power of marketing and utilize the resources that we provided for you on the resources page. So marketing is a great way to do it. It's pretty much the only way you're going to be able to get the word out there. And I am part of our marketing team, and I may be a little bit biased, but marketing is great, so use it. So we have on the resources page email templates, logos, graphics, social media, all kinds of random resources that are up there that we've updated for the year. So everything should be very user-friendly. If you get stuck with anything, or you feel like something is missing from the page that you would like, reach out to me. Don't be afraid to request for something. If I can give it to you, I'll give it to you. If I can't, I'll let you know I can't do it. But it doesn't hurt to ask, because the worst you get is no, right? One thing that we really, really are trying to focus on for ourselves, and I highly recommend that you consider for yourself, is to think about the messaging and the language that you use when you are talking about taking part in the back to school drive. So one thing we've really been trying to focus on for ourselves as an organization is to reframe how we think about our recipients, and really think about them as people first, and use people first language. So what does that mean? It means being respectful of people's identities for how they feel that they want to be identified. So for example, we're trying to stay away from characterizing students as at risk, or low income, or poor. That's not who they are, and that's not who they're striving to become. So that's not how we want to represent them. So if we try to really think about them in the most respectful of ways as possible, and so think about those types of adjectives that put them in an uplifting light, right? So I created this little graphic for you all. If you want to take some notes and use some of these words, I think these are way more appropriate than, say, calling somebody poor or even at risk. But students are all of these fantastic, wonderful things. They are awesome. They are determined. They're motivated. They're focused. They're brilliant. It's it's a much more positive feeling for people on all sides, especially for the students, because it really makes them feel a lot more seen and supported for who they are as people, and not just this general population of people that we're just, we feel bad for, or, like that's not why we're doing the work that we do, right? So really, really think about the language that you use. And if you need help, reach out. We're here. We've been doing our best to do the work, and we are happy to do the work with you. So let's jump over to the back to school timeline. Okay, so this is going to be important for you all to know. Right now, all of the online resources are available, so you can go and download everything that you need. All of the virtual giving trees are live, so you can pretty much launch that live whenever you feel you are ready to market it. Just because it's live doesn't mean you have to set your campaign live. If you feel like, I don't want to start running this until June, that's totally fine, or July, that's completely fine, but it is there and ready for you whenever it is you want to launch. Right now, you can start a physical drive if you'd like. We do have the downloadable and printable tags and the supply list. So if you are maybe with a school and you want to run your drive before the school year ends, you have time to do that. And you can go and download those resources and get started. And if you need a drop off before the end of July, which I just totally gave you a sneak peek on for the calendar, you can reach out to me at driveleaders@fgt.org, and I can help you out and schedule some time. The Drive Leaders training session is now. This is the first session that I'm holding for the season, and it will be recorded and it will be sent out. So if you missed something, or you feel you wanted a recap on something else, or you just missed me and my voice and my face, you wanted to see me again, that's totally fine. I'll be up on YouTube. You'll have this link in your email tomorrow. The week of June 6th, we will be sending out the physical materials. So the tags, the posters, the Drive Leader information packets, all of that is getting mailed out. And we will be hosting some pickup days during that week in our Milpitas office as well. I will be hosting another Drive Leader training session on June 8th. It will be this session essentially. So if you are already in this one, you do not need to sign up for June 8th unless you miss me. Totally fine. I totally understand. June 15th will be an opportunity for you as Drive Leaders to sign up for warehouse volunteer slots. This is a pretty big deal for those of you who are not familiar with leading a drive and running, doing warehouse volunteering. It is a really, really highly coveted opportunity that we offer to the community to come into our warehouse for a 2-hour shift during the months of June, July, and August. And you can come in and help with receiving donations, sorting backpacks, shopping for supplies to fill backpacks with, and getting the backpacks ready to distribute out to the schools. And so a nice little perk for being a Drive Leader is you get access to sign up early, because these are very popular opportunities to sign up for amongst the community. You get first dibs before all of the slots get taken up. You also get more. So as a Drive Leader, you get up to 10 warehouse slots. So up to 10 people can come, or you can come 10 times. It's up to you. And the general community gets 4. So this is a nice little perk for being a Drive Leader with us. July through August is when volunteering will take place in the warehouse. July 27th through 29th is when all of those physical donations are due. So if you're running a physical only drive, and hopefully you'll answer that question that's in the chat, is this is pretty much when your drive will be done if you're running a physical drive, is the end of July. 27th through 29th will include days where we will have 1-day remote drop-offs in Castro Valley, in San Francisco, and Palo Alto. And then our South Bay warehouse will be open for drop-offs on all 3 of those days. We will be sending out signups and more information as we get closer to July. So don't worry, you don't have to memorize all of this. This is just more for you to know. If you are running a virtual giving tree, The last day for the virtual giving trees for people to be able to donate will be September 9th. So then your drive will end after September 9th. You can also end it earlier. You don't have to run it through September 9th if you don't want. Again, it's just based off of whatever it is you choose to market, but it will be available to collect donations through that day. And then that officially kind of marks the end of your drive work. We will send out drive results at the end of September, once we've had a chance to tabulate everything and kind of roll things up. And then targeting early October to do an appreciation event. So this is the time where we get to reflect on all of the hard work that's been done. I will generally try to bring in somebody from the outside from one of our schools or agencies to talk to our audience about their organization, and then we'll cover, the impact and how things were. And then this is also the time when I will announce Drive Leader Awards. We do give out awards to our hardworking Drive Leaders to recognize you for the hard work. So it's more for bragging rights than anything, but I think it's something you should try to strive for. So be sure to stay tuned to all of that. We will send reminder emails out so you don't have to kind of just remember it. There is a question about signing up adult children. You can sign up anyone you want to come join you for volunteering. It is up to you. If you are part of a corporation that's signing up, you may want to check with your corporation whether or not they're, willing to let you use those slots for family, or if they want to keep it to employees only. But we do take volunteers of all ages. That is one of those beautiful things about what we do. Value here at Family Giving Tree is we do want to inspire volunteerism, philanthropy across children and adults alike. No age limit whatsoever on the low end or high end. So as long as you are responsible for your children, we absolutely welcome you to the warehouse. But we are not a babysitting service. So if you do have kids that are under 12 and you want them to come volunteer, you're going to have to come with them. You don't just get to drop them off. Do you have suggestions for where to find the least expensive but good quality backpacks? That is a good question. We have actually had people, first of all, I'm going to open this up to the audience. So if anybody else in here has run a backpack drive before and has found good quality backpacks at a really good price, please feel free to share it with your fellow drive leaders in the chat. But I do want to share that we actually have had drive leaders who have purchased backpacks in bulk online, and they've gotten them overseas for really, really cheap, but then they were also really, really cheap quality, and that's something we don't want. So definitely wherever it is that you are shopping, make sure you are reading through the description and looking at the images and making sure that it's actually sturdy enough and looks good and will last at least a year, because that's essentially what we're hoping for, right? Places where we have seen commercially sold backpacks for really, really cheap actually has been like Target, and when there have been sales, and Walmart. I've been able to find backpacks for like less than $10 that have been pretty good quality. So you just kind of have to be able to dig deep and look for them, but they are out there. Let's see, can we donate backpacks that are company branded? You can donate backpacks that are company branded. We will take them, but our preference is to have the non-company logoed backpacks, because if you think about the excitement of a child getting a new backpack, they're going to be more excited for a backpack that's got like unicorns on it or something versus something that's got, your company logo on it. But we will take it. Absolutely, because at some point we may run short and may need backpacks, and so those will definitely be used and distributed. Yeah, suggestion for backpack is Walmart. Target's also okay. Office Depot, Staples tend to be more expensive. Yep. Good. I'm glad this is helpful for you. I see Linda raising her hand a lot. Feel free to ask your question in the chat if you actually have a question. If you're just raising your hand for fun, that's totally fine too. We can all raise our hands, right? Okay, so we've kind of come down to the last part. If you have any questions, it is 2 o'clock, so I do want to be respectful of your time. Costco is a good place to look. Thank you for that tip, Katie. If you have any questions after this, please feel free to email me. Again, that is driveleaders@fgt.org. I am on the other end of that, and I will be more than happy to connect with you and answer any questions that you may have. But first and foremost, please hit up that resources page, because you're going to find a lot of what you need there. Fingers crossed. If you don't, let me know and we will do better next time. Okay. Otherwise, I think that covers everybody's questions. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I will follow up with you after, and I apologize for that. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope you have a really, really wonderful drive season. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.